Hey, Domestic Don, Josh Landers. This podcast is going to be a little bit different. I'll start with some vignettes of our camping trip to Lake Tahoe, and then we'll get into the crux of all the other shit that we did during this COVID camping excursion. So I hope you enjoy it. Like I said, enjoy the culturally appropriated word vignettes. Just look at this shit outside of the bike. But this is all camping stuff. All camping shit. Except for the drums, of course. And the bike. But all the shit you see on the ground is camping stuff. And I'm supposed to fit all of this into that. Plus a kayak. Plus a dog, plus 4 people. Wish me luck.
Hi. 710 Skyford National Park.
Big Sur.
Big Sur. Here we are.
See the diva.
Somebody's freaking out me.
What's the diva doing?
I can't get her some tired. I don't know what.
Good morning. Stop, Rowan. Don't hit the camera. Huh? Okay. Calm down. Alright, we're at Big Sur, camping galore.
You read that those are the Los Padres
Mountains?
National Forest.
Where?
All
Up there.
around us is
Okay.
Los Padres National.
There's the old beast. Kayak.
Dad.
Yeah? I will. I'm taking footage. Stock footage. Hi, Willa. Alright, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Where are we taking a walk at? Walk into Big Sur.
I really wish I brought my beanie.
Wish you brought your what?
Beanie.
You're cold?
And my
What's up, Ron? There you are. Alright, where are we going? Into the unknown. Into the unknown. Ah. There's a creek down there. This is called Wayland Camp.
Let's go see.
You want to go see the creek?
Yeah.
Alright, let's go look at it. Let's go look at the creek. Whoa, cool creek. We went swimming there yesterday. I racked my shin. I hurt my toe. It was a good, nice adventure. Stop, Ron. There's Rowan. This is our trip, summer trip. We're gonna try to get another campground today, but there's a hard to what's it called? Hard to check-in time. So we tried to another deer. We tried to get our campground yesterday at like 1:15. Oh, there's a deer. 1:15. See if you could.
At 151.
There's the deer. You see it? I can't see. I gotta flip this around. Nella, come on. My dog's pulling. She sees the deer too. But we tried to check in early, and I've never heard a hard to before.
Willa.
Yeah, we can go that way. That's fine. Let's go.
No.
But a hard to check in.
We had to check in at 151.
Yeah, we tried to check in at 1:51, and the guy kept saying hard to. I've never heard that before. So Big Sur is a little hoity-toity that way, I guess. Willa, come on. Willabelle. You're writing something? She's writing in her journal. She's getting all her nature things down.
Nobody came
And it's a beautiful area. Obviously, they have some of the sites closed because of COVID. And, they can't open all the sites, but we got a pretty good one. I just don't think we're going to be able to get a second one. But we do have a site at Donner Lake, so if we have to, we will travel 5.5 hours from here to go to Donner Lake, stay a night there, and then we have a couple of nights at DL Bliss in Lake Tahoe. so that'll be nice.
This is amazing.
What'd you find?
This place is amazing.
It is amazing. Why is it amazing?
Cause it is.
It is, huh?
I chose a good choice.
You did.
You chose a what?
A good choice.
Alright, campground 81. This is one's closed off.
Daddy,
What?
can we go over here, up here?
Sure, looks like it's closed off, baby.
Oh.
See that line around there? See the
Oh,
rope?
yeah.
Yeah, the rope's
Yeah,
kind of.
but look under that bush and the root.
Oh,
it looks
wow.
like a hut.
I see that. That's cool, huh?
It's a tree.
Alright,
going.
let's keep walking around.
It used to be a tree, but now it's just a big hole.
I hate
It's a humongous stump.
Yeah, it is a humongous
Probably
stump.
used to be a humongous tree.
It might have
like that
been.
one. Or even taller.
I got our dog here, going on adventures. Now through the whole closed off campground. What?
It's not roped off right here.
It's what?
It's not roped off right there.
Yeah, I know. Well, I don't want her to go up. I mean,
Dada,
pretty
do you
sloped.
think
Yes.
we can release her now?
We could try. Do you want me to try?
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple people down here, but
Where?
I don't know. I'm gonna keep her on the leash for now.
Okay, until we get into deeper woods.
Yeah, we'll see how deep we get in the woods.
Let's go up.
All right, beautiful area, huh? Big Sur, California.
Yeah,
You like this campground, Willa?
Oh, deer.
Ooh, deer, another deer. You see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's running away. I don't know if I can capture it on here. Yeah, there it is. Nilla smells it. Yeah, there it is. See the deer? Let's try to zoom in here. There it is.
So
Just
dandy.
sitting there. Not scared of us at all. Used to humans, huh? You could write that down too, Willa? What?
Deer.
It's a
You see
truck. All right, Willa's doing her nature journaling.
a lot of
Ron's complaining.
deer. We have seen a lot of deer lately.
We have seen a lot of deer lately,
This
huh?
campground.
All right, it's just that tree up there. We're taking a little adventure walk up into what, Willa? Into the unknown. Come on, Mila, come on. All right. Watch out for. You okay?
Alright, let's go back.
Yeah.
All right, we're fine.
It's really steep.
All right, really steep. Doing a nice adventure walk up in Big Sur.
Oh,
What's
man.
that? Okay, but you're gonna break the camera that way.
I think I see a cave.
You saw what?
A cave.
You saw a cave?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see that. Whoa.
Can we go up there?
No.
Probably not too much up that hill.
Let's just go back.
No. Not going back to the campsite
She wants to have an adventure, Rowan.
Okay, well, we already
now.
have
God, that's not even
And having a teenager is fun.
That's all.
DL Bliss Campground. What, baby? You want away? Alright, here's us on the Rubicon Trail in Lake Tahoe, mid-Lake Tahoe. It's a simple trail. Good for families. And now I'm just going to walk. I have my mask on, as you can see. And let's just walk through the beautiful forest. I've drank way too much over the past 4 days. But then we lasted 4 days with 2 kids. Yep, I'm not going there yet, but yep, there we go. Now I can see you. Hi, Willa.
Hello.
I felt really excited for it.
Alright,
It's off at a different time, so.
alright. There you go. Let's keep going.
And I'm like,
Not beat that view. Wasn't that just so nice and peaceful to see my perfect family going on vacation, and a family that you don't have, and a family you probably wish that you did have, and one that, you know, that I probably don't love enough, But it was fun. It was a fun trip. We had a lot of adventures. Good to be outside. It's strange with me when I go camping, I don't get anxiety. I don't have my usual panic attacks, which I just had this morning. This fucking morning, I had a panic attack for no reason. Waking up, my wife's not feeling good. COVID? Nee, hopefully not. Um, but she's not feeling good, so I'm making breakfast for my daughter before, my son's a teenager. He fucking sleeps in. So she wakes up 7:30, 8 o'clock. I go downstairs, make myself a nice cup of green tea, trying to wash away the days and days of drinking that I've had a little bit, and say, you know what, Josh, I'm not going to drink today. I'm just going to have a nice relaxing day, and just take it easy. Just take it easy. Wife's not feeling good. You'll have the kids. You'll just have an ease of a day. Take the dog on a walk. Go outside, sit in the sun. Beautiful weather lately here. In the mid 70s. I know the back east is getting fucking annihilated right now with heat waves. But no, I can't do that. Yeah, so I'm just sitting there fucking grilling, making bacon, drinking my green tea, and all of a sudden, that weightless, weird feeling in your chest, the spin of your head where you're not really actually attached, and just that fucking oddness of panic attacks. And those of you who have it out there, anxiety and panic, you know what I'm talking about. But it's just that feeling of I'm gonna die. That rapid heartbeat. You have to sit down. And again, I kind of know how to get out of them a little bit. And it usually has to involve drinking a beer really fast, which is not good. I understand that. Not good. But sometimes I'm like, I need to just settle down. I need something to settle me down. So if you guys have any advice for me, at all, my 5 subscribers, tell me what you do to get out of panic attacks. I don't want to take pills. Weed is great if that works, but I don't know. I'm not. I smoke weed here and there, but I'm not like a weed guy. I'm not a connoisseur. So I don't even know what fucking thread or batch or fucking what's it called, strain. Whatever I have, I don't know what it is. I think it's the chill one. But I don't know. But a beer always kind of just like settles me down a little bit. And I know, again, that's not good. So don't fucking chastise me on that. Just give me some help. That's all I'm looking for. Some help on these fucking panic attacks. But again, on these camping adventures, I never have them. I don't have them. It doesn't happen. I have some drinks. I go to bed. I wake up. I was able to pack a bunch of shit, but that was a little iffy this time, or not iffy. This was a struggle, because what we did very smartly, usually as a couple, and as a man and a wife, a man and a woman, a husband and a wife. What we did smartly is like, hey, let's camp at a place that's 4.5 hours away. Then let's get another camp spot that's 5.5 hours away. So in total, it doesn't seem bad because you're doing 4.5 hours one day, 5.5 the other. But if you're really looking at it and breaking it down, we're still doing about a 12-hour fucking drive. And what we didn't do smartly is we got one campsite in Big Sur, like you saw, and we couldn't secure a second night. And real quick, this podcast is brought to you by Drake's Pilsner. Like I said, I wasn't going to drink today. Wasn't going to drink. But Drake's Flyaway Pills. I got some other beers here. I think it's Sierra Nevada. Yeah, it is what it is. But like I said, I think in the intro, did I have an intro? The intro, then the Frenchy vignettes, the intro, and then this sort of YouTube influencer vibe that I got going on now. In the intro, I think I mentioned that camping's even hard now. When we went to New Mexico, hotels, yeah, tough. Traveling, tough. Wearing a face mask in public, going to the bathroom into a fucking Shell gas station in the middle of nowhere, tough. Yeah, that's all rough. But I thought camping was gonna be like this. This is the way it's supposed to be. But it didn't seem like that, and not just because of people. People were fine. It seems like people were kind of distancing themselves. The first night we were there, we went to Big Sur, Pfeiffer State Park or whatever the fuck I mentioned, what you saw in the videos. And if you're listening to this, you didn't see the video, so fucking go to the YouTube channel, right? Fucking follow my YouTube channel. Why are you listening? Why are you just listening when you can watch this next mogul of the internet in his garage talking to you? So I would really, really, really urge you, and it would be abhorrent of you not to really follow my YouTube channel. Um, but there's some people that we were going down a creek for a little while. We found a little creek walk to do, and there's some kind of asshole people out there. They feel like this is their part of the creek because they found this section 27 minutes before we did. So they put their fucking towels down and their Birkenstocks down. And this is ours. Don't come near here. Don't even think of having your daughter float on her little floaty down in the section where it's actually fucking deep and you can swim. Don't do it because we're here and we're 25 and we have no kids and we really have no responsibilities. And we're at Big Sur, which is a fucking hoity-toity area. And wasn't Clint Eastwood fucking the mayor of Carmel by the Sea, which was, 10 miles north of there, where we're camping? I don't know, I can't remember. Something like that. Maybe it was John Lithgow, I don't know. Fucking one of those older actors. But you found your little part of the creek. Great. But we got kids. So we're able to supersede your needs as parents. Because we're going through fucking hell. I had to pack up, you saw what I had to pack, getting the toolie off the top of the fucking soft bag toolie, which has been a gem that we bought years ago for some reason. I think going to Canada, I can't remember. With a soft bag on top. I gotta get all that shit in there, I gotta pack it tight. I should work for fucking, what's a moving company? Benkins? Is that a moving company? The big Beacons? Beacon moving company? Benkins? I don't know. I should work for them because I'm now able to pack really, really, really fucking well. Doesn't mean I won't break some of your shit, like your fucking grandstand piano, but I will be able to pack it well. I'll find a fucking slot to get it into. And that's what I did with the toolie. Then we got this big fucking dog cage that we had to buy because we're bringing our big beast of a fucking mutt. So I had to get that on top, strap everything down. Then we got to bring a kayak, and we can bring the kayak on there. I have to strap that down, make sure that's solidified. Pack some shit in the little space in the back of the kayak. I don't know what it's called, cargo space of the kayak. So I put some shit in there. Then I got to pack the entire hatchback of the fucking old lesbian Subaru. And then I gotta get the kid. It's not all on me. My wife definitely fucking helps, but it's on me. It's me. It's me packing the entire top of that car. And the back, and food and snacks and all those other things for some reason get relayed to the opposite partnership in this relationship. And I'm not faulting that at all. I like to do this stuff. It's actually kind of ingrained in me to do these things, but it's not without being fucking exhausted when you're doing it. So doing it for that morning, the night before, getting everything packed, then driving 4.5 hours, then we have to break it down, hopefully find a camp spot, set up camp, and then just see it. And we finally were able to relax, right? So we're doing that fucking creek walk, and we see the fucking 25-year-old douchebags sitting on the side, smoking weed, G-strings, Birkenstocks, whatever I already mentioned, and giving us the fucking stink eye when we float by with my beautiful daughter. And they say, this is my spot. So we just go, I say, fuck you, we're going by too. And nothing was ever said. Nothing was said. This is all here. This is all the panic attacky Josh going on here. This is all fucking me having a panic attack, fucking making bacon on a Monday morning for no reason. Because I didn't take care of myself the day before. I didn't sleep well. I don't sleep well. Never fucking sleep well. That I gotta figure out. Might be alcohol. Maybe the alcohol's the reason. Maybe that's the reason. Or is it the cause? Or is it the cure? That's what I'm still kind of iffy on. Cause or cure, I'm all over the place with that. Probably mostly both. So, went on the creek walk, found a good spot, tied the dog up. It's beautiful, beautiful day. Nice water, not too cold, not too hot. 70-something degrees at the coast, of course. Dog is doing great. She's a great traveler. She's not barking at other dogs. She's not aggressive, even though people are scared of her, like I mentioned before, because she's 65 pounds of just fucking muscle, with the wimpiest dog I've ever met as well. But she's fine, sitting by the creek, looking at us go back and forth. And of course, I'm creek walking in flip-flops because my nice, keen sandals, because I'm that kind of douchebag. My nice, keen, overly white, Caucasian, I guess I should say, sandals that I owned for years and years and years that cost like $97 back in Arkansas. They finally broke last summer. It completely just snapped. So now I just have flip flops. And if you're a creek walk in flip flops, which is another extremely Caucasian activity, if you ever creek walk, it's not easy in flip flops. And I'm slipping like a motherfucker. I'm slipping like a fucking Mississippi mud shark all over the place. And I fell a few times, caught myself. I had a beer in my hand. I think it was an Oscar Blues Dale's Pale Ale. So another sponsor, Oscar Blues Dale's Pale Ale. I believe they're from Colorado somewhere. I can't remember. Somewhere in Colorado. So I had a whole pack of those. Not just pale. It was a mixed pack. So I was drinking some other shit too. But I had that at that moment. And then I fell, and my fucking little, fucking white codfish looking fucking gefilte fish foot, like white as a fucking snowball in the river, falls into a little crevice of the rock, and I slip, and I just go fucking down. Boom, down, shin, right onto a rock. Yeah, little hurt at that moment. Just, the usual bang up that I'm used to. And camping bruises, we'll talk about that later on, how you just get fucking nicked and cut and bruised for setting up camp, and how now we're such pussies by living in the fucking burbs and in these little posh houses, and how we don't go camping anymore, we go glamping. Those fucking Patagonia parents that are out there that just go glamping. No, we still kind of like to camp, even though they're all set nice campgrounds. So we're not the douchebag fucking millennial cunts that go out and say, I just sleep on a fire road with my sleeping bag. I'm like, yeah, we can't do that with kids. We cannot do that with kids. So we have to have a set campground. At least that's what's good for us. With a fucking bathroom nearby. Vault, flush, it doesn't really matter. I know the wife loves, of course, the flush ones. And the kids obviously do too. And I appreciate a fucking single bathroom where I can just bomb my fucking barley out of my ass and not have anybody right next to me. That's a pleasure. That's a luxury. But if I could pay $35 for a campsite, I'll do it. I know these young people can do it for free. Get a fire road. That's for you. That's not for us. We like to have like a little bit more of an organized campsite, at least until the youngest kid gets a little older. Then we'll go fucking backpacking. And I've done it. I've gone backpacking before. But it's hard. It's not fucking easy. But it's hard enough just to do a simple state park campground. And it's hard now. What was I talking about? The fucking creek walk. Yeah, so I bashed my knee. My fucking I'm going all over the place here. I'm still tired. Bashed my shin and my knee. Fucking cut it. I can see some blood already on my knee. My fucking Dale's fucking pale ale from Oscar Blues. It goes under the drink. Goes under the water. I'm like, fuck. And if it was 100 years ago, I'd be like, creek water. It's probably fucking fine. It's flowing from the fucking St. Andreas Mountains. I don't know what the fuck they were. San Jose, I can't remember what they were. Some mountains around there. And it's flowing there. It's coming from fucking Snowflake land. It's coming from Frozen 2. Elsa fucking christened it with her voice. And, if it was like that, I would have drank it. But I didn't. I'm like, fuck. It's a full beer, too. Full beer, just wasted. I just poured it out on the side. My dog's licking it up. She gets her fucking yeast. It's good for her fur, good for her skin, good for her fucking complexion. But, it's just like, that sucked. So I'm hurt. My wife slipped one time. My daughter's slipping all over the place. But it's fun. It's still fun. It's still fun. I saw these kind of ladies walking by the creek walking. They had their family floating ahead of them. And I'm sure they got the same stink eye from the 27-year-old G-string Birkenstocks down the river that we got. But they walked by and they're, hey, how you doing? I think they have some wine in a fucking solo cup or maybe some, I don't know, who knows. They're drinking something. And you can tell she just slips and falls. And her MILF laughed, she was MILFy. But she fell and she crashed and burned too. I'm like, oh, what an idiot. And of course, 20 minutes later, I do that. Okay, so I'm going way too long here. That was that trip. And then, of course, the next day we can't get a camp spot that we thought we can get just by simply calling or even going to the kiosk. And let me get back. Let me kind of, I'm pre-shadowing here. I'm going to revert to the previous day before we even got into the campsite, because there's a phrase that I really never heard before, hard to. I've heard of like a hard dick, a hard ball, hard candy. I've heard of hard things before. I've never heard of hard two. And we first pull into the Big Sur campground, and it's strange camping now because you can't go straight to the kiosk even if you have a reservation. You have to kind of wander. I don't know if this is everywhere. This might just be a California shitty thing, and it probably is. It's probably just a California shit thing. And since this whole COVID thing has happened, I haven't camped yet. This is the first time I've gone camping. Yeah, we traveled, but there was no camping involved. It was all hotel, which was odd in and of itself. That's not a bad one. Drake's pills, flyaway pills, which we can't fly anymore. We can't go anywhere. Our Americans are banned. There's no flying. This is why we're camping. So we go camping, and I feel like, we got a reservation. We just go right in. And usually when I've camped in the past, which we've done a lot of, reservation or not, you can get in at a certain, it's not like a hotel where it's a check-in time or check-out time. I know they have it. It's posted. Quiet time, 10 to 6. No one fucking adheres to that shit. People are fucking woohooing all fucking night long with their White Claws in campsites usually if you're an unlucky soul like myself. But usually it's just kind of, come in at 11. I know it says 1 or 2 on your reservation, on your email. But usually, go in. It's empty. They left. The people before you left. And checkout time is 12. I don't think I've ever stayed until 12. I'm always done, packed up by fucking 9:30, because we want to go hiking. We want to go do some other shit, so we don't have to just come back and rush. So this one said 2 o'clock. I'm like, they'll let us in. It's like 12:40, something like that. 12:51, I can't remember. But it was an hour. Sorry. Jesus Christ, that was a couscous burp. I just made some fucking red couscous salad, and I was sampling it. Good shit. Feta cheese, some Italian kind of seasoning, dressing, fresh cucumbers from our fucking garden, and some onion. Anyway, just burped that shit up. But, so we go in there. It's not the same, as always. Like I said, check-in time's a little more rigid, a little bit more regulated. And we get to this tent before the actual kiosk where the ranger usually sits, and there's 2 rangers there. And we see a bunch of people just kind of going in, turning around. They're looking for like beach parking. They're looking for just parking. Because the fucking parking at Big Sur was fucking ridiculous. People off the side of the road. I was really surprised how crowded the entire trip was. And then we get to the tent finally, and we go, we have a camp spot. He's like, no, hard two. No check-in until 2. I'm like, really? 12, and then I kind of look at them, okay, it's an hour and 15 minutes. That sort of makes sense. Let's go find something to do. But I'm still percolating, right? I'm still like, why do you have to be such a fucking prick? Why do you have to say hard to? And he has his mask on. We have our mask on, looking at each other, fucking like dipshits. But, it's you can't check into 2, sorry. Things are going a little wacky lately. We got fucking 3,200 corona bats out there, viruses that are brought to you by fucking bats, whatever it is now, that we can catch. But yeah, it's just a little odd times. But please, you can come back at 2. Sorry for the inconvenience, but no, it's a fucking hard 2. I'm like, all right. So then we go, and we find a little place called Big Sur Tap House, I think. And we walk in, fucking forgot butter. At home, and we had sticks of it, organic salted fucking butter. We had sticks of it at home, and I forgot it. We like to make eggs in the morning. We like to have kind of a nice cookout in the morning, shit like that, or use butter for fucking putting on your schlong before you go to bed. I don't know, whatever you use butter for. But I had it, and I fucking forgot it. So I'm like, we need butter. We'll go to this little store. And I knew in these little small towns that shit's going to be expensive. The nearest place, 10, 15 minutes away, is going to be expensive. Beer is going to be expensive. Ice is going to be fucking off the charts. They're gonna hike everything up, which is that's kind of their duty of having this small mom and pop store. So we go there. I buy. This is the only fucking stick of butter. And if you see my fucking cell phone, it's about the size of that, but just almost as long. It's a fucking brick. It's a brick of not butter. It's fucking margarine. And I really don't know what margarine is. It's just like oil. I think they just put all oils that they find that is unhealthy for you, and they just press all of that into a fucking brick. and somehow have a cow piss in it, and it just turns into something that looks like butter. This it was fucking this big, and you can't see me on the fucking audio. It's just brick size. It's a brick size thing of margarine. So I asked this girl, "Is that it?" Yeah, that's all we got. So I buy that. That was like $4.75 for fucking butter. I get a can of beer because I'm like, fuck it. This is my bar. This is my going to the bar right now. So I buy that $5-6, whatever the fuck it was. I'm like, okay, we're ready. And then it's still not time. It's still about 1:07. So we park off the side of the road, eat lunch, kind of in an awkward fucking way. Then I'm like, let's just go get a beer at the tap house. So we go to the fucking tap house, buy a beer. That was okay. But of course, the beers are what, $8-9 each. Luckily, they allow dogs in. It's an outdoor patio. People are looking at us like we're fucking dog killers because we have this American Bulldog mix. They're looking at us like, oh, who are these people coming in? We have a fucking Daffadoodle, or whatever the fuck they are. Some Labradoodle, I guess, with a Daffy Duck and a fucking poodle. But they have these, like, they have dogs that aren't aggressive. But of course, my dog's the sweetest. We tie her up, and people are coming by like, "Oh, beautiful dog." I'm like, "Yeah, she's a fucking beautiful dog." Petting her, is she friendly? Yeah, she's friendly. I wouldn't put her next to my daughter. I wouldn't put her near the nearest fucking Big Sur, whatever county douchebags if my dog wasn't nice. I wouldn't do that because I'm not an asshole. I am, but not in that way. Like, yeah, my dog is fully aggressive. She's killed about 14 different breeds of dogs over the last 2 years. So yeah, I'll just chain her up here with other people right next to her. Of course she's fucking friendly. So anyways, that was fine. So we got a beer there, spent our $72 and 2 pints. My son got a soda for $14.50, whatever the fuck it was. And then we go back. And it's 1:51. 1:51, we go back to the fucking... This is probably going to be the longest I spent on this fucking trip, because this was the worst part. 1:51. So 9 minutes to go until 2. What do you think the ranger says to us when we pull in again? You got it. Fucking hard 2. We cannot get there until 2 o'clock. So we have to pull out again, go sit on the fucking side of the road in the shade, and wait 9 minutes to come back. And then once we get there, it's 2:01. He says, oh, now you can go. What the fuck is the difference? What's the difference? The campsite was completely open when we got there. It's not like there's some family clearing their way out of there. It's not like they're spick and spanning and fucking pouring bleach on a fucking wood bench that has fucking gang signs sketched in since the 1960s when fucking Harley Davidson fucking Hell's Angels camped there. No, they're not doing anything to the campsite. It's completely fucking clear. And once we get there, there's no other campsite that's occupied. So we waited till 2 for 0. And then once we get past that tent, go to the kiosk, all fine. All fine and fucking dandy. We back our car in, because that's what you do usually in camping. I'll get to that later. People who back up in their own driveways, I know some people do, and I kind of get it, but I also kind of don't. Especially if you don't live on a fucking busy street. The back end driveway, when you're not unloading, the back end, like, parking, when you're not unloading, like, a big Costco fucking run, or a chicken coop, I don't fucking know. If you're not, what's the point of the back end? Sometimes. Especially when you live in the burbs. And we have people around here who have fucking hatchbacks. And they're backing into their driveways. And there's no traffic around here. There's cars that go by because other people live here, but what's the back end with a fucking Ford Focus? What's the point? If you have a big car, like a oversized SUV or something like that, that could maybe see it because it's easier to pull in and pull out. But with the 2-door sedan, 4-door sedan, what's a sedan? What you say, Dan? Why? What's the back end for? To me, it's kind of but camping. The back end's fine because you're unloading and your campground's there and you fucking even sometimes they ask you unload. So that all went well. All right, that was Pfeiffer State Park in Big Sur. So if you want to go, it's a good place, but COVID's fucking all this stuff up, and it's a pretty place. It's all pretty. I puked foam with a river after I spilled my fucking Dale's Pale Ale. I was hot and fucking just tired from loading and unloading and doing all this other shit, and then I drank. I made a mistake of drinking not a fine Drake's Flyaway Pills, which is a doable 4.5% alcohol volume with I don't know, 43 IBUs. If you don't know what IBUs, International Bitter Units, I'm sure my 5 subscribers know that. But that's reasonable for like that's for a camping trip at the creek. That's what you want. But I made the mistake of opening a Goodnight fucking Imperial Red Ale. And it's not Goodnight like good night. It's Goodnight, like a fucking Australian Goodnight. If that's is that how I say it? There's missing letters. And it's 8.7. I started drinking like, Jesus Christ, this fucking heavy. And then I'm moving, I'm shaking, I'm fucking tripping, I'm breaking my, fucking getting splints on my shin. I'm all over the place. Lifting fucking daughter out of water, getting looked at by Birkenstock people. You know, it was a trial, man. And I took a couple sips of that one. It did not settle well. And once you get that warm, all the alcoholics out there, you get that warm saliva going in your mouth. You're like, this is not gonna go well. And I had just went over to the corner. There's some rocks over there, and just boom. That's how exactly. That's exactly how it sounded. And after that, I'm like, whew. And my wife's like, you okay? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm fine. I just had to get that little out. So that was all right. Then we move on. Then we're smart. No campground, but we did get a backup campground at Donner Memorial State Park, which is great. That's where they ate people. That's where the Donner Party got there. They have this fucking marker somewhere that we couldn't find where the snow was 18 feet high or whatever the fuck it was. They sliced meat of ass and ate it. That's a pretty place. We've been to Donner before, and I knew it was going to be that. But luckily, we made that fucking backup reservation. So we could have wasted $35, $42.74 with tax and CRV or whatever the fuck they have for campgrounds, but reservation fees. But we had it, and luckily we had it because we couldn't get the fucking Big Sur one. So we went there 5.5 hours, 6 hours with stopping and pissing and all that stuff. Going to the store was always a fucking fiasco. We got to go shopping, so I got to shop for food. You know, it's tough. It's just tough going now. Tough sledding, I guess. But we got through it. Got there. That was pleasant. That was a nice spot. We walk around. We find another creek. We do some fucking. My kids do some rock climbing. You know, just kind of rock skipping, rock hopping, whatever you want to call it. Nice creek there. But I brought my fishing poles, and at this point I can't fish yet. No fishing at Big Sur yet because the creek wasn't deep enough. Didn't go to the ocean because it's too fucking crowded. And now we're at Donner Lake. I'm like, I could fish at Donner Lake, but Donner Lake is still a mile away from our campground or so, something like that. And then we did the creek stuff. After we got there at 3 o'clock, whatever it was, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and after I unload everything and we set up camp, all of us set up camp. Got to be fair, got to be not sexist or a bigot. We're all setting up camp, and then it's by the time that I'm like, fucking, I'm exhausted. And so let's go on a creek walk again. So we go to the creek, we do some shit, look around, walk around, just feel out the area. Then we have to eat. We have to cook some shit. It's like burgers, hot dogs. I bought some carne asada meat for Tahoe, which I'll get. Just regular camping food. But I like to camp. I like to cook over this grill that we have, and it goes over the wood. So I have to start a fire to get it going, which is not that big of a deal, especially in summer months in dry areas. Humboldt County, different fucking story. In the south, in the humidity, if you go camping, different fucking story to find anything, not stuff that's dry, but it's just harder when it's humid or wet or more. Anything on the upper northwest, here it's going to be hard to start a campfire. But this is easy because it's all dry wood. And of course, we're going through me and my son are going through, which we shouldn't do because it's illegal. So any rangers out there, you would find me. But I don't understand that rule either. I understand a lot of rules. I don't understand the no collecting dead wood. I'm sure there's something, and I studied wildlife for a while, but I never heard the theory behind or the study that analyzed why you don't pick up wood from the forest floor that's already fallen from trees and dead. And we're using pine needles and shit like that. Anyways, we get the fire going. So if you know that answer, please tell me. We get the fire going, cook our burgers, cook our hot dogs over the fucking open flame, whatever we're cooking, and that's the best. That is the best. We could do it on a grill. We could bring a barbecue or a grill, but we have a stove, but it doesn't house hot dogs. It doesn't have a grill like that. It's a grill for putting a fucking tea kettle on or cooking eggs in the morning, shit like that. But it's good. It just tastes better in my mind. At least if you get good, decent wood. And so that went well. That went swimmingly. But it's still 2 days in, 2 days out, packing, unpacking, packing, unpacking. And if you, again, are people, what are you complaining about, Josh? You're fucking weak. You're a weak camper. You don't know how to live this rural, rugged lifestyle. I'd be like, you know what? You probably are not lugging fucking kids with you doing this shit. And you don't have a fucking goddamn lesbian Subaru car full of shit that you have to take on, off, set up, set down, blow off. You know, all this other shit. Or deflate, inflate. That sounded like a weird blow on, blow off. That sounded like a weird hooker like proposition. Like, what, you want me to blow you or blow off? Um, and but maybe I am weak. Maybe I am a fucking pussy. I don't know. I probably am. Anyway, it wears and tears on your body. And now that I'm just getting older and older, more decrepit, more unhealthy, just like, ugh, God, Jesus Christ. I used to be able to do this in a fucking whim, on a whim, in a flash. Like, fucking, it's up. Let's get ready to go. Let's go out. Let's go do something. Let's go hiking. But now I just want to fucking sit. I want to sit. I want to sit, drink a beer, puke up foam, and then worry about packing everything up the next morning, which we did. And we packed up the next morning, and now where are we going? Luckily, only about 45 minutes to Lake Tahoe, DL Bliss. And that's where we actually had a couple of days worth of reservations. So we had 2 nights there, 2.5 days, and that was nice. And you know, we still hung around Donner Lake for a little while, went for a walk, went for a hike, saw the lake, kind of stood in it for a while, just kind of get the lay of the land. Then we're like, all right, let's drive now down to South Lake Tahoe. And then we had to go shopping, of course, again for shit. But that was probably the calmest part of the trip was Lake Tahoe, and that's because I knew in my mind we set up, and then we could just chill for a while. And the campground was nice, beautiful, easy to get in, no fucking hard to. We get there before 2 o'clock. We got there like at maybe 1 o'clock, and the guy goes like, usually it's 2 o'clock, but go ahead. So Lake Tahoe people, whatever county that's in, are a lot nicer than the fucking Big Sur, Clint Eastwood, Carmel by the Sea fucking country of their policies and procedures. At least in my mind. Maybe it's just because I have a heart for Tahoe. I've been to a writers conference there that they paid me $600 to go there, or not paid me, but it was a $600 conference. I got it for free because I'm such a fucking fantastic, great artist and writer that is extremely failed. But I still have that Squaw Valley, South Lake Tahoe. We go pretty much every year for Thanksgiving when it's snowing. We've been sledding there. You know, just we do shit there, and we've been there a lot. And it's just beautiful. It's just a beautiful fucking place. It's hard to beat, but it is kind of hoity-toity yet again, of course. And I knew it was gonna be kind of maybe busy, but not as busy as I thought it was. And the beach shot that you saw earlier. And if you're listening, it's crowded. It's like right when we get to the beach, it's like we have to drive, of course. Our campground's up. It's a good 1.5 miles from the beach. And it's like, why don't you just fucking hike it, man? Take your kids. Get them with a kayak on my fucking shoulders, right? I don't have one of those fucking kayak rollers like dogs who fucking get broken legs wheeling behind with 2. I don't have that shit, right? I don't have a kayak fucking whatever they call it. I'd have to hold this fucking 65, 70, whatever it is, a fucking 10-foot long kayak on my shoulder for 1.5 miles. I'm not doing that. I'll keel over. But yeah, there's a parking lot. So we go down there and we're like, we found a spot. Not bad. And when we get to the beach, we're like, fuck. There is not a lot of social distancing going on. Not a lot of mask wearing, which I think is okay because we're outside. But you still have that like weird now, it's only took us about 4 months as a culture to get to that weird, like, what, can we do this anymore? Can we be around other people? And of course, we're all in bathing suits. Everybody else is in bathing suits. It's a fucking beautiful panoramic view of Tahoe and boats tied off and the fucking boat culture that's out there, which is boat culture. Boat culture is funny to me, and I like boats. I love them. I grew up a lot of that time, like when I was in my before even teenage years, would go to Colorado River with my family, and luckily they had boats and jet skis and shit we can use. I fucking love it. But it is a funny culture when you get down to it. It's a very showboaty. Oh, I think that's where it fucking comes from. Showboats, because they're fucking showing their boats off, and you know people who are out there, that's all they do. They're showing their boats. And I'm showing my green fucking 10-foot kayak. I'm a showboater, and my fucking $10 inflatable Intex raft that I got at Walmart in 2007 in Arkansas. So I'm showing that shit off because I'm like, yeah, look at me. I got a kayak. I'm towing my fucking 2 kids behind me, and I'm fucking struggling to even paddle while I'm going through this freezing fucking water. Right? Look at me. Definitely a showboater. And they got paddle boarders. Yeah, it's a great culture. It's just a funny culture. Especially when you see people who are like under 40 who have boats, because they don't look like boat owners to me. They look fucking like kids who got left a boat by their like real estate fathers. Or so I don't know. I'm coming up with bad analogies, but they don't look like boat owners to me. They just look like dickheads. They're just like dickheads. Like, look at you fucking young dickheads. You think you're in shape. You don't look that in shape. Your girls are wearing 2-piece bikinis, which I guess is cool. And they kind of look okay. But you're just laying on the deck. It's like the shore is like 20 yards away. Go out in the fucking Lake Tahoe. Go boat. Why do you have to shore up right there? And some boats I didn't see move. They just came in, right? So I guess they moved. But they came in, docked, with their fucking anchor, and then just stayed there, and which is great, I guess. But I would be out there fucking diving in the middle of Lake Tahoe. I tried to be finding fucking king salmon or king hippo, fucking Mike Tyson, fucking punch out. I'd be trying to find shit. I'd be going. I'd be cruising. I would go to a cove with no one there. I would find a place where there's nobody. But they go to where the action is because that's what they wanted. They want to show their boats off. And I don't know if their boats are good or not. I don't know much about cars. I know a little bit, but I know less, way less about boats. I know nothing about boats. I know there's like a Bayliner, and that's about it. Mercury motor, that's pretty good. I think. I don't fucking know anything. So we got that. The kind of lounging lifestyle of being like a real estate mogul's kid, kind of shittiness. And I'm sure I'm fucking wildly off. I'm sure I am. But we did that. It was fun. But a little freaked out at first. Especially my wife was she was a little like, I don't, about going on shore and next to people. And at some point, I'm like, we're fucking here. I'm tired. We just drove fucking ridiculous 12 hours to go to 2 camping spots. We gotta go in the fucking water. We gotta go in the water. We can't just like go back to the camp spot and sit there and stare at each other awkwardly in the fucking pines. We have to get out there. We have to go to the shore. So I get the kayak. I said, fuck it. Get the kayak out, and I just drag it through people. Not like John Candy in what's that fucking movie? Summer Rental, where he's fucking has his daughter on his shoulders, and he has a fucking cooler, and he's dripping water. It's a great movie. Summer Rental. Just haven't mentioned that movie before? If you haven't seen Summer Rental, fucking get it. Watch it. Rent it. Amazon it. Whatever you fucking just get it. John Candy is fucking genius. But I wasn't like that. But I wasn't that close to people. But I'm just like, I'm finding a spot. I don't give a fuck if these people got their spot at 7 in the morning and just kind of put some poles down with a weird fucking canopy so the sun doesn't hit their fucking pasty bodies. I don't know. I don't care. I'm just going. Where I don't see people, that's where our boat is going. So I drag our kayak there, put the paddle on the boat, and just like, this is it. This is where we go. This is where we fucking launch out from. And it worked out. No bad looks, at least that I saw. But at that moment, I just didn't give a fuck. So we're able to do that, go kayaking, get in the water a little bit, feel the beauty of nature out on the sand. Try snorkeling with my daughter, which she hated at first, but then eventually she started liking it because snorkeling's hard. And the water there is fucking cold. It's fucking snow melt. And it's cold all year round. So if you've never been to Tahoe, which if you live in California, and especially in the northern half, I don't know why you would never go to Tahoe. But if you've never been, it's cold. And that sounds pretentious, but you're just being a dipshit if you've never been to Tahoe. Especially if you live within 2 or 3 hours. Because it's beautiful. It's fucking beautiful. And, I knew it was cold. I know years ago going snorkeling there. I know I've been there many times. Obviously in winter, we're not going in the water. But it's going to be cold. And no wetsuits. Just board shorts, bathing suits, whatever. And, yeah, my daughter's cold, I think. And she doesn't know how to do it. She doesn't know how to kick. She doesn't know exactly how to breathe through it. She's a little scared. So we just kind of dip your face in, look around, dip your face in. You can see how clear it is. I teach her how to spit on the lens and then kind of wipe it off and then dip it in the water, put it on, and you blow the fucking air out just to clear the fucking chamber of the snorkel. I'm no expert either. And no, we don't have fins either, so we're not doing it like perfectly. But she was getting a little frustrated. She's 7. But I go snorkeling the next day, so we have a full night, good night, easy night. I think I made some carne asada on the grill that night. I'm pretty sure, I can't quite remember. We had something that was good. Tacos, maybe. Yeah, it was. Carne asada. We bought it from Safeway, which is probably fucking bad fucking meat from 19 different countries, of course. But it was good. Good tacos, got guacamole, chips, salsa, shit like that. Make it a little different than just the burgers and dogs that we usually get on a simple camping trip. So, next day, full day at the fucking lake. We get up fairly early, of course. It's camping. No hangover. I don't get hangovers camping for some stupid reason. It just doesn't happen. I get hangovers at home. No hangovers camping. And there's a theory behind that somewhere, too. Tell me what it is. I think it's just activity, less stress, no worry, no job, nothing. So we get there 9 o'clock in the morning to the beach, and it's already, not crowded as yesterday, the day before, but crowded enough. And I just immediately, of course, take the kayak, set it up. This is our spot. Blow up the boat. That's a fucking pain in the ass because our fucking blower sucks. Sounds like another hoary proposition. But our fucking air mattress blower, fucking whatever you call it, it's running out of steam. But eventually we get that up, put that in the water, tow the kids behind, go snorkeling, have a day. And that was the best day. And you know why it was the best day? Because it's a fucking chill day. It's a relaxing day. And what you don't have with a family, and this might just be my family, but I know a lot of people who are married, know a lot of people who have kids, and it seems like in those families, it's the same fucking thing. There is no chill day. There is no fucking chill day. I don't care if it's fucking quarantine. I don't care if it's fucking World War II. I don't care if you're getting fucking blitzkrieged in London and having to fucking stay in the tunnels while the fucking tile from the subway system is falling, or the tube is falling on your fucking head. There is no chill day with family. And I'm not going to say who kind of pushes that agenda. I'm just going to say it's not me, it's not my son or my daughter. And again, I not saying anything, but I don't even have the thing I'm not saying. I don't have one that's that pushy, honestly. There's some, because they all have some, but I don't have one, the luxury of having one, that is that pushy. But still, it's just like, can we just fucking sit? Can we just fucking sit for a minute and not do anything? Not even a minute. Can we just do 2 to 3 fucking hours of just and whatever else we ate over the last couple of days, which is camping food, it's never the and that day it was. So that's why it was the best day. Camp was already. If you're a fucking normal person, if you're a person who eats, we already had a day at the beach, or a half day at the beach. That's it. Just like, and we had a night of niceness, pure. Then we have the whole next day to be like, wake up, fuck you, nothing to fucking pack. Make breakfast, which is easy. But I'm doing that for a good 40 minutes probably. I get out, I'm always fucking fascinated. I feel a little weird at campground. I think I was near fucking hypothermia. Someone's fucking, and then like I get out, my head is still swirling. You're looking down, and it's almost like a panic attack, like I mentioned earlier. But it's not panic. It's size 12 boot right next to your my body core temperature. 10 seems like it's gone down maybe like a small degree or two, which is danger zone, right? And there's a big warning sign. We're going together. Watch out for hypothermia. Which I knew that thing between us. I did this when I was a kid. We're hearing everything. We're smelling everything. Surfing in the winter. We're doing everything together. Water without a wetsuit. Reach over. There might as well be a hole between those fucking walls. But yeah, once I got that feeling, like, whatever your pleasure is, lay in the hot sand, which is not me. But you get that done, and then we go to the beach, get a beer. Like I said, always fucking normalizes me. I'm sipping that. I think I need water. Got beers on ice. If you don't know this, if you get over like a certain elevation, you need a lot of that we ordered, or you're gonna have a good dehydration in Truckee. On top of fucking the day before, I still had half of mine. My daughter still has her down water. I'm drinking beer. This is ice down my fucking pants. I'm doing whatever I can to chill on. Normalize. Was going in the water for way too long by myself. Lay down. And I just laid on a blanket, just snorkeling around, swimming around, go to a cove, and no one bothered me. Rocks, and go dive down. Kids left me alone, and I make this mistake all the time just in my life. And then, like, after I'm doing it for a good half hour, after about 10 minutes, I'm like, okay, I feel better. And then we went kayaking again.
Tries.
That was the day.
Starting
That
to
was
burn.
it.
You know,
And then the
some
next
good
day,
exercise,
that
burning
night,
off some of this fucking
we
beer
went out
and this burger
to dinner.
meat,
I think we
fat.
went to South Lake Tahoe. Yeah, we went to South Lake Tahoe. That's always odd now, going out and traveling to eat somewhere. We got to find everything's outside, of course, in California. And you know, we went from phase 3 now back to phase 2. Now I don't know what fucking phase it is. It's fucking phaseology out here. Every day is a new guess of what phase we're in. I don't even know what the fucking steps are. Laser phase, laser tag. I don't know. I don't know anymore where we're at. But we found a restaurant, wildly expensive. Don't have the usual shit they have, of course. But we ordered, we ate, and my beautiful, sweet, innocent daughter. And I haven't mentioned my son that much because he was great. No tech though. 14-year-old without technology, he's changed. I've seen him change in 2 years since he got his phone. Massive change. And now he went back to being the kid I knew, right? If only for a little bit. And of course he's trying to sneak away to his fucking car, to the car, to look at his phone. And my phone died, and it was nice. I had like 3 days of no phone, none. It was dead, and my phone doesn't charge well anymore. So it's just like, I'll just leave it, take pictures, you know, let them take pictures so we can have archive. Because without pictures, how do you even know you went there? Without documenting anything, how do you know you exist? Without me talking to this camera right now, how do you know I did any of this? You don't. Because without technology, you're dead. We're dead. You're finished. But he was fine. Went back to the kid I knew. Cool kid that I know. But that night, my daughter, she saw a homeless lady sitting across from where we're fucking eating this not posh, fucking pizza and nachos. What am I talking about? So we're eating this food at this overly expensive brewery in Tahoe. And you know, there's a homeless lady across from us, just with a sign says, "I need help," whatever it means. You know, please help. Anything helps, whatever it was. Something help. And I want to go give her some money because my daughter wants to open a homeless store. That's her big thing right now in life. I want to open a homeless store. And the idea of this little mind, my son did the same thing years ago too. Remember he saw a daughter and a father and daughter on the corner. And he said, "Can we just go give him some money?" So I gave him some money to go, yeah, of course. So he has that heart too. But just to see this little mind whirling, like, this is what I want to do in the future. I want to open a homeless place. No money. I don't want money. I don't want to get paid. And they can get things for free. Or maybe $1, she says, right? So, and I think I mentioned this before. So she's bringing that up again. And like, I want to give her some money. I said, okay, let's just wait and eat. And then we didn't have that much cash on us. Outside of like, maybe my daughter's better than me. I'm not going to give this lady a 20. But we had like a couple bucks in change. Like $2-3 in quarters, dollar bills, whatever. So she goes and gives it to the lady. But before she does that, she writes a letter to her. I'm sorry, and she went and talked to her. I'm not making the story very coherent, but she goes and talks to this lady, and finds out her name beforehand. And her name was Lori. She was homeless. She's probably in her 60s. She looks a little homeless, you know, a little weathered, leather skinned. You know, not healthy looking. She's homeless in South Lake Tahoe, but fuck, I mean, you can get worse places, I guess, to be homeless in summer than Lake Tahoe. Winter would suck, but yeah. So she found out her name, and then she wants to write her a letter. So she said, "I'm sorry, Lori, we couldn't give you more. Here's a picture I drew for you." So she goes and hands her the money and that picture. And I don't know if it made that woman's day, but it looked like it did. And just to see this little masked 7-year-old talking to this homeless woman, giving her a picture that she colored and wrote in her 7-year-old language, and the money. It was a bright, beautiful moment at the end of a bright, beautiful trip. And look at me now. Look at me. Look how fucking positive I am getting at 51 minutes in. This is a fucking long one, 51 minutes. See, that's what it was. That's what the trip was. And I gotta add all these fucking videos. I was gonna get to other shit today, but I'll wait for the next one. I was gonna talk about melting down, camping, and not being able to have sex when you're looking at people in fucking bathing suits all day long because you have your fucking kids in the same tent. That's creepy. The ruination of kids with technology. I was going to talk about Trader Joe's being racist, which I mentioned, I think, early on in the fucking intro. And then what are we going to do next? We're going to ban all food. Fucking everything's going to be culturally appropriated at some point. We're not going to have White Castle anymore, which we don't have in California. But that one hasn't been banned yet. Wendy's is like a pedophile's dream because it has a picture of a girl on it, so we got to get rid of that. Burger King, have it your way? No, I don't think so. That's fascist. What about people who can't have it their way? What about the subjugated? So we're not going to have Burger King, that slogan anymore. Fucking El Pollo Loco, that's going against chickens. So crazy chickens. So that's it, you're referencing, and you're kind of being a bigot and ignorant against mental health in poultry. So PETA will be on your ass for that one. I don't know why El Pollo Loco hasn't been called out yet. I mean, it's on and on and on and on. I'll get to that next time because this is just too long, and no one's gonna fucking watch this or listen to this anyways. But please do, and I hope you guys are having a good summer. I hope everybody is safe and sound and happy, and I hope everybody is just keeping their sanity and go camping, go find a spot. Go lounge on a boat if you have the ability to do that, and play fucking really bad music, like 2002 rap on your boat with your fucking skidoo or fucking what's it called? Fucking skidoo? I don't know what the fucking goddamn thing you get towed behind on. The fucking water skis. What's the other thing? The fucking wakeboard. Go get on one of those. Skidoo. Go get on one of those and show off. But you're not. You just have them on top of your fucking rack of your boat, and you're not doing it. You're playing like ludicrous, and you're just sitting there drinking your fucking Truly and White Claws, and use your fucking boat. Utilize it. So if you have that opportunity, please use it. And if not, get outside, relax, drink a beer. I'm having one. I'll have another. I'll have two, and have a day. See you guys next time.